Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and
we have our
girls,
guest in the motherfucking building.
are you ready?
Frisco. Legendary boss talk, man. San Francisco motherfucking legendary artist. Legendary group.
RBL Posse.
Bay Area's finest. One of the biggest hip weed anthems in the world. We have a building to represent the guys, man. Don't give me no Bama weed unless you got Black C in the building and say we don't see in the SFC, nigga. Let's welcome Black C in this motherfucker, man. Let's go, man. What's up with it, Playboy?
What's up with it, man? What's
Black
up with
C in the building. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
You already know.
Hey, bro, we just did the Super Bowl shit together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? Hey, shit, we've been doing a few together. You feel me?
Yeah, but you cheated. You stayed the whole weekend. My money ran out. I had to dip.
Hey, man, we had to stay to get our revenge. I had to see them Eagles lose, man. I had to stay to the end, man. You know, they dogged us out. You feel me?
Right, them niggas ran through your whole quarterback line, my nigga. They fucked everybody up.
Man, fucked everybody up.
Everybody up, my nigga.
Hey, I couldn't say shit that week. All that shit I was talking all the way up to that game, man. I had to fall back and just go out there and say, man, we stand this whole weekend, man. These motherfucking Chiefs, man. I ain't never cheered for a team that wasn't the Niners like that.
I fuck with the Chiefs because, you know, Kansas City, you know what I mean? That's like the third Bay Area home. I get a lot of money out there. I get a lot of brethrens out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I call them aloof. I get a loaf out there, man. I get a maloof out there. You feel me? So
real though.
I got to pay homage to the niggas that help pay my bills. You feel me?
Real shit.
So
real shit.
KC over Philly. I ain't never got no money in Philly, my nigga. I got some niggas out there. I ain't never go out there, nigga. My money come from KC, nigga. They love the kid. They love Bay Area out there, nigga. They love us. That's our cousins.
Yeah, them our cousins, man, for real.
And Tech Nine, you know, Regime Life, my nigga from KC.
Exactly. So that's mandatory. That's mandatory.
How you feel about the game, though? They're talking a lot of bullshit about the last call.
Yeah, nah, man. It don't even matter, man. Them motherfuckers did their thing, man. Them niggas, call or no call, man. Them niggas, they rallied their way back, man. Them niggas was up at halftime and the whole shit, man. That energy was all the way different where we was at. Them niggas played, they did their thing. I don't give a fuck about what they talking about the refs and all that. I don't want to hear that shit.
I think Rihanna gave them niggas a boost of energy because they was sticking up the field before that, nigga. At halftime before the game, she was out there with them goddamn floating sperm cells and shit, doing them neck shakes and shit.
Hey, gave niggas that extra energy for real.
They like, nigga, Riri here, nigga. We can't lose in front of Riri, nigga. What? And them little sperm cells and shit floating and shit. We can't lose, nigga. Wake y'all shit up. And they came out there and woke up. I think the defense won the game for them.
Nah, they did though. Them niggas was playing, man. They was playing. They was on that nigga ass, bro. Man, I get KC they props, bro. Them niggas rallied back, man.
They rallied back. I thought it was over. I was ready to cut the TV off after Rihanna. I'm like, these niggas ain't coming back.
They start talking about they want to drug test Mahomes because he came out after he hurt his knee and all that. I said, man, they doing too much, man. They trying to strip these niggas for the Super Bowl. They bullshit, man. They trying to find anything.
Who's the nigga that hit 81 points? They tested the shit out of that nigga after the game.
Oh, yeah. I forgot who that was. Yeah, they tested the shit out that nigga.
Tested the shit out of that nigga. Like, nah, nigga, you doing something.
Hey.
How you drop 81 on this, nigga?
Yeah, they don't be playing about them motherfucking chips and shit.
Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, hey,
buddy.
They in the building, man. They talking about eye for an eye, you know what I mean? They own it, knick-knack, you know what I mean? You know what? We did an interview with Boo Capone. You know the comedian Boo Capone?
Nah.
Oh, he in LA.
It's funny.
LA, funny. They do the roast shit and all that. So we were doing an interview about you. I said, nigga, do you know RBL? The first shit he said some shit that we wasn't even, you know what I mean? Fuck him. He said, what, nigga? He started naming albums and shit. You know what I mean?
All your shit, Blue. He named all your shit.
No, the first shit he said, nigga, it's a blue bud on my shoulder. Can I kill it?
You gotta kill him?
The blue, because he's a blood. So they was fucking with that for real. With the blue bud on my shoulder, should I kill
that song's big in LA.
Yeah, they really were trying to kill Blue
Yeah,
Blue Bird.
Yeah, they had a whole different meaning behind that motherfucker than what I had. You know, mine was the boys in blue talking about the police, but them motherfuckers, they was banging with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That nigga was a full-blown blood. That was the first song he said, blue bud on my shoulder, should I kill it? I said, okay, blood ass nigga. I know what you meant by that.
That's love. Shout out my guy.
He knew your whole song when he was on the TV. He knew the whole shit.
Okay, so this how I like to always start off with the legendary artists and shit that we interview and shit, man. I always gotta find out what was your first rap name and what was your first rap song, my nigga, and what year?
My first, well, I ain't really had no rap name.
I'm not talking about in the studio. I ain't talking about studio shit. Like the first time you ever wrote and said some shit in front of some people when you trying to be a rapper.
Yeah, I was always Black C. It wasn't even a rap name. It was just they was just calling me Black Chris because it was another Chris. It was a light-skinned Chris on the block. When niggas call Chris, they'd be like, nah, Black Chris or light-skinned Chris. You know what I mean? So that's how I got the name, Black Chris. And I just turned it to Black C. It was never really a rap name. That motherfucker just was my block name. But as far as the first rap song was a song called What About My Niggas I did to the EPMD, You're a Customer beat. And I took that nigga Too Short concept when he like, man, when you name niggas in the neighborhood and all that shit, they gonna play your shit. So I did a song called What About My Niggas, and I named my nigga What About My Nigga Budweiser, and I'll be like, you know, the nigga pimping, get money, this and that. What about my nigga named T-Lo? And I did it off the You're a Customer, the EPMD beat, and that motherfucker took off. And man, that put me in the game. That was my first rap song, my first rap, and I named every nigga in my neighborhood, and them niggas played that shit everywhere and put me on. You know what I mean?
Sounds like marketing.
Yeah. I listened to it when you was talking all that. Man, you name your niggas in the neighborhood, you name niggas around, they gonna play that shit. And I did the same thing on my second song. I did Rolling Through the Turfs of HP and started, you know, because I seen how niggas from other turfs didn't really want to play What About My Niggas because I was just naming my niggas from my neighborhood, from my project. So I said, you know, I'm gonna do Rolling Through the Turfs of HP. So my second song, I driving through, acting like, you know, imagine myself driving through HP, and I put everybody from all the popular neighborhoods, you know, where all the popular niggas from each neighborhood in the song, and that motherfucker took off.
That's dope.
Oh, yuck, my mic muted.
You muted, yeah.
My mic
there
muted.
you go.
My mic muted. Okay. Now, saying all that, was that the start of the group? Like, how did you link up with your boy? You know what I mean? How did that
I was working on my solo shit. I had did a couple solo, like even if you notice on my first album, on our first album, a lot of the songs, like More Like an Orgy, Sort of Like a Psycho, A Lesson to Be Learned, all them is me damn near. Them was all my solo shit from my solo album. That's why Mr. C kind of he ain't even on More Like an Orgy. And A Lesson to Be Learned, I threw him on at the end on a different beat, Sort of Like a Psycho. He come in on like the third verse, like he do half of the third verse, and all them songs was shit that was from my solo album. So I was trying to do the solo album, and then I tried to go in the studio. I got cold feet when it was time to go do the shit for real. I didn't want to do it by myself. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, if I fail, I don't want niggas kind of, you know, I don't want to be niggas laughing at me by myself. So I said, I got to get a real artist to hide behind.
Facts.
I got to get T-Lo, because I was really a beat producer at the time. You know what I mean? I was just doing all the beats. So I pulled the nigga T-Lo in, and T-Lo wasn't fucking with it. He was like the Ice Cube in our neighborhood. So I end up trying to get him, and he ended up like, you know, bro, I got somebody else. I got Mr. C. I got this girl who I deal with, her brother. This nigga don't do nothing but rap. He brought that nigga up, and it was off to the races. We ended up doing he did a song called Hit Squad New Jack that I produced, and we was called the Hit Squad at first. And EPMD took that motherfucking name, you know what I mean? Them niggas end up K Solo, all them niggas. They was the Hit Squad, Dies Effects, I think, all them niggas.
Redman, all them niggas.
Yeah, they took the Hit Squad. So once did
Death Squad. They was Death Squad.
No, they was Hit Squad first. That was later on when they split up. They
That's
had
when then they made Def Squad.
yeah, then they made Def Squad, but at first they was the Hit Squad. That was when they was together before him and Paris split. Niggas
Okay,
had the
yeah,
Hit
you're
Squad
right.
first.
You're
Yeah, they
right.
put their
But
stamp on that, and we had to switch up. So my boy T Lo, who I tried to go to studio with, that nigga ended up giving us the name Ruthless by Law.
I was gonna ask you what the RBL mean, man. Ruthless by law.
Yep.
Yeah, Ruthless by Law. Yeah, it was just too long at the time, so I just shorted it. I had shortened it to RBL, and then once I threw Boob and all them niggas all on the cover, I just threw the posse on. You know what I mean? I was just like, fuck it, RBL Posse. You know what I mean?
So did you get it like because that back in the day? Remember the first nigga that I heard to really make the posse shit pop was Sir Mix-a-Lot, my posse on Broadway. He made that shit like
him. It was Marley Marr and them niggas. They had like
too.
Yeah, all them. It was a few. It was posses.
Kumo
Was like
D. Kumo D.
Posses.
Yeah,
Kumo D. It was like crews and posses was like the thing back then. So that's why I ended up throwing that on. It was NWA in the posse. It was like a few motherfuckers. Like
right.
They all had posse attached to their shit. You know what I mean?
Nigga, it was Ice Cube and Latin and all them was in a group called the Posse.
Right.
Before NWA.
Yeah. No, it was NWA in the posse.
Oh, first. Right. Okay. And they had the fresh crew, like niggas that wear feelers too, but they had a posse. You absolutely right.
It was Ice Cube thing going on. So that's why
they had a song called My Posse One. Hey, my posse two. Hey, my posse. They performed that shit on Soul Beat, my nigga. At the fucking Hyatt, the one on downtown Oakland, by the swimming pool area, nigga. Ice Cube and the other niggas, nigga. So yeah, Posse was dumbass lit, bro. So I formed the group, but you doing the solo shit. So what? Like, okay, you don't want to do the solo shit, so your solo songs go on the album.
Right. Yep. I had Don't Give Me No Bammer joint. We don't smoke that shit. Point. I switched it to Don't Give Me No Bammer Weed. We don't smoke that shit in the SFC just to pull Frisco in. All that shit was part of my solo shit that I had. So I had about 5. I had damn near like an EP when I went to go fuck with TC and them. You know what I mean? And then I'm switching shit up, throwing Mr. C on a few songs.
So your shit was turnkey.
Huh?
You were turnkey for them. You were more of a turnkey situation. You was already ready to go.
Yeah. I was ready, but like I said, I got cold feet. Pulled that nigga in, and he was a lyricist. But when I met that nigga, niggas up there were just rapping like block shit. Niggas was just we didn't have no niggas like Mr. C when he came up there. He was like busting like metaphors and punchlines and all that shit. He was into that East Coast shit. Like he really was fucking around with like the Big Daddy Kanes and all that type of shit. Like them East Coast niggas. And I was more Ghetto Boys, NWA, 415, all that shit. You know what I mean? So once he came around, it was just like, man, that I'm like, man, this nigga lyrical nigga. So I was just like, I'm gonna use my voice, let this nigga be pretty much the lead, and throw my shit on there and do a couple songs for him, and yeah, man, that lesson to be learned ended up coming up out of that shit. Set us up lovely.
Hey, hold on, you skipped over a lot. We gotta rewind. Hold on, man. We gotta rewind. So let's go back to Bama Weed, man.
Mm-hmm.
How you created it? How was it created? Who produced it? What was the whole experience on making that song? Because you did it by yourself, of course.
Yeah.
But what was the idea? Where it came from?
The first one came from I was just bullshitting. It was me and my nigga Tita Lee. It was Tita Lee and my nigga T Rod. Rest in peace to both of them niggas. They both dead now. They both passed away. But them niggas was on the original one with me. The original Don't Give Me No Bammer joint. We don't smoke that shit in Hunters Point. I produced it. I produced everything on the first album except the one with Totally Insane. G's by the 1-2-3s. TC produced that one, but I produced the whole album. And pretty much I was just bullshitting it. Motherfuckers in there, we had, like motherfuckers didn't know what Bammer meant. That was like our neighborhood thing. Anything bunk weed, brown weed, we just called it Bammer. So we just
that's an exclusive. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was just something we used up there. It was just anything. It was pretty much brown weed, bunk weed, anything that's bunk we call Bammer. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where it came from. So motherfucker was
And
just
you
like,
gotta,
I'm a joint.
and,
You know what I mean?
and at that time, you can't forget, nigga, Bama was going crazy, nigga. Like in Oakland, they had a whole Bama alley, nigga, like a 71st.
Yeah,
That motherfucker get the biggest Bama sack for $5 in life, nigga, like an ounce, nigga, for $5 over there.
Niggas was smoking. We had pillow sacks out there. Motherfucker was
Pillow
smoking.
sacks, niggas was smoking Bama, nigga, for real. You had a dank spot and you had a Bama spot. Facts.
Yep. That chronic type shit came around later on. Niggas was like smoking that Sensimilia, whatever that shit was. It was like green, kind of skunky. That shit was the first shit that kind of hit our neighborhood. And that's when we kind of started talking about the Bammer when we first got something like that skunky type shit. And you know, really the only motherfuckers that was fucking with Bammer was them niggas on coke and shit. You know, they couldn't lace that shit in that in none of that chronic type shit. It didn't taste right. So they was the only niggas still buying Bammer. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was a broke nigga in the Ville, and I was sliding through 71st like a motherfucker, man. Because we have more weed. Like we spend this motherfucking $10 on some dank and just have one joint, or man, go spend this motherfucking $10 and get a motherfucking damn near half ounce and just be burning. So
exactly.
Just little teenage shit, not no ball shit. You know, little youngster, 12-year-old, 14-year-old shit, don't know no better. You know what I mean? But as time progressed, you know, I started smoking the best. You did? But everybody, niggas can't lie. Niggas probably, my first time smoking was my motherfucking sister Bama joint under her bed. She had a motherfucking Nike box with the whole kit up under the bed, nigga. She had the motherfucking
right.
She had the motherfucking zigzag. She had hella seeds,
the roller, everything.
Not no roller. She had the motherfucking the crutch, the little crutch holder.
Oh yeah, you talking about the little pincher thing that had like the feather? Nigga had a feather or something.
They had a pinch thing with
a little doobie holder.
Yeah, a little ooh-wop. You know what I mean? I scraped up some of that shit. I had seeds in it and everything. I smoked it all, nigga. Sticks. I didn't know how to smoke.
Everything. Motherfucker popping.
I rolled up everything. Had the Maximus headache in life, nigga. That shit was snap, crackling, and popping. Pop.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, I felt like your song. Don't give me no Bama weed, but that was my first weed experience, man. Smoking like weed, Bama weed, seeds, and stems all together. Thinking I'm the nigga, man. So
real shit.
That sounds like that fucking Jamaican weed.
I can't see y'all no more on the screen. I don't know where y'all. Okay.
No.
Oh, we on here. You were just, you know, you was the main. You was the main. Getting
your shit. You know what I mean? Nettie, when was the first time you smoked some Bama, Playboy?
Okay, y'all don't even want to hear this shit.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't let me tell my little Bama story like that.
Yeah, I can't tell everybody. Hold on, let me see if anybody around this motherfucker. So check it out. I didn't fucking start. I used to fucking hate weed. I used to fucking hate the smell of fucking weed. I used to hate that. I didn't start drinking until I started hanging out with motherfuckers in East Palo Alto and doing. That's when a nigga from Roguish Records, when I started doing fucking with them nigga Band-Aid and all them niggas and Scoot and all them niggas. You know, I've been doing Scoot and Band-Aid and niggas since I was young. Huh?
I had thought you were from EPA.
Yeah, well, you know, I had my first Yeah, I'm very heavy in East Palo Alto. But dumb niggas turned me out, nigga. Dumb niggas and Max Shaw's motherfucking ass. And then some Oakland niggas. My nigga ran from 9-6 and all good and all them niggas. See, I thought it was weird because I never liked that shit. I didn't drink. I was hustling, doing what I, you know, make my money, right? And then I started hanging out with you motherfuckers. I got on fucking ecstasy behind Max Sean. I started smoking weed from a nigga named Earl Johnson. He's Palo Alto email, Roguish Records, and Band-Aid now. Band-Aid used to smoke so much fucking weed, him in school. I never smoked that shit.
You start smoking late in the game then.
Now I started smoking till I was like fucking 20. I didn't start drinking hard till I was like fucking 20, 22. I was
15. I was 15, smoking like a motherfucker. I was on coke and everything at 15.
Oh, shit, well, let it all out. Tell the truth. Shit. Tell the truth. Set your ass free.
We chewed out in the city. We think we're Andre Nicotina get that shit from. Nigga, we was chewed out. Motherfucker. 15, 16 years old on coke, snorting, chewy joints, cocktails, everything, nigga. You know
well, nigga, y'all had the mainstream yard, nigga. You patrol here, you go right at Hunts Point, right over the hill, over the back, the Candlestick, right to the freeway.
But look, I'm gonna clear it up. Back in the day, that was a stunt. To smoke a chewy in the late 80s and the early 90s, you had to have money, nigga.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
for
the
sure.
money
But we
niggas
was getting
did.
money too. You're exactly
that's
right.
what the big money niggas did. You know what I mean? They did
Exactly.
the dope fiends did crack and heroin. But
so why don't you tell everybody what a chewy is? A lot of these people don't know what a chewy is. Tell them what a chewy.
They sprinkle the dust and they joint.
Exactly.
They crack.
Dust.
They crack.
No, not crack.
Yeah.
Crack is a
crack, nigga. That's a Grimmy. Crack, nigga. That's damn near, that's the Grimmy and a Friday.
Oh, yeah, the Grimmy. Okay, what's the difference from the Grimmy? Let's talk the difference. What's the difference?
A chewy is a powder. A Grimmy is a crack, nigga.
Okay. Let's sell a record straight, goddamn.
Chewy is a powder in the joint. Grimmy is the crack in the joint, and then you put coke in the cigarette, that's a cocktail, and you put crack in the cigarette, that's a Fry Daddy.
Damn,
a Fry Daddy.
Hold on,
that's clown, I like that. A Fry Daddy.
Cause that motherfucker fry and sizzle. When you put it in that motherfucker, you hear a sizzle in it.
Instead of fry, I can hear it. I can hear it. A Fry Daddy. Hey, you need to drop. Hey, you need to drop the Fry Daddy. Presents. Come on now.
Yeah. Boy, nigga need to make his next vape pen, the Fry Daddy.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, I know.
Fry Daddy.
You laughing?
Oh, them niggas that be dabbing though, that shit damn near, but that be sizzling.
That's the Fry Daddy.
Bro, I can't fuck with that. I tell these niggas,
none of that.
That's futuristic freebasing.
Exactly.
Hey, the first time I dabbed, I fucking coughed so hard, I probably almost shit on myself.
Man, I can't do
that shit ain't no joke.
I can't do nothing with torches and pipes, my nigga. I don't even smoke bombs. I don't smoke
none
no
of that
pipe.
shit.
I can't do
none
no
of
pipes,
that, bro.
my nigga. Especially, and then these niggas got to heat up.
I can.
Like a nigga have a big ass gas tank, like heat that bitch up. He got welding equipment. Nigga had a welder shit right there heating it up. I'm like, hold on, man.
You're like, damn, nigga, I feel like I'm a man.
Nigga, what in the pookie is going on right here, my nigga? Like, what the pookie and Jack City is going on in this motherfucker, man? Pookie, no!
Hey, nigga can't do it, man. Can't do it.
I can't fuck around like that. I thought I was the only one that thought that was futuristic freebasing. I'm like, nigga, that's
I can't fuck around. I don't do nothing but, man, smoke my shit zigzags. That's it. I don't fuck around with
no. Tell the truth. It's okay to let it out. What else? It's okay. Tell us more. What else do you smoke? It's okay.
Yeah. Now that's when I was young, nigga. I cut all that shit out in 92. 92, it was over with. I cut everything out. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna stop fucking with that coke and all that shit. Nigga was straight weed after that. It's been weed ever since.
Let's clear that shit up tonight.
Nah, I was a nigga like Network. I was selling my work out there wiggling. I was just saying no to drugs. I was telling my niggas that I'm selling the weed, but I'm like, it's a gateway drug. Nigga, you about to start buying crack for me, nigga. Y'all niggas is dumbasses, nigga. Your brain getting dumb.
It's all true.
Funny, nigga. Don't get high off your own supply. I'm preaching all that shit, right? Because this we got to get money. Nigga ain't getting high. Nigga, I got to sell this weed. I ain't trying to nigga smoke it. You feel me? Boom. Start rapping, nigga. So like around Network, like around 19, 20, that shit was in the studio all the time, CNH and them smoking big ass Bob Marley joints. I didn't even know they could roll a joint this big. The motherfuckers so little, but they be taping. Roll a big ass stogie, nigga. Ted Bohannon, they passing them shits around, nigga.
Blowing.
Man, they was drinking Tanqueray, niggas. Tanqueray in the motherfucker. So, you know, it's the studio. It's going around. So, man, start going, fuck it, man. Pass that motherfucker, man. Start smoking. And I don't know, as far as making music, it was better.
You woke up?
It elevated my thoughts.
In the 20s, boy, y'all got in late. Shit.
It elevated my thoughts, my nigga. Like I was a beast off the smoke, my nigga. It was quick. It was quick, nigga. I gotta do music with the smoke. Period. It's dope.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy I experienced all that shit early on. So a motherfucker was like, got tired of it by the time a nigga hit 2021. I was done with all that shit though. But
hold on, didn't you stop smoking weed for hella long too? Not too long ago.
Well, I'm off and on
some years ago. For real?
Yeah, I'm off and on now because
I like 10 years, like 5 years ago, you said you didn't smoke weed for a minute.
No, I quit for about like 3-4 years. Then I came when I started back up. This shit was too strong. You know, all the runts and all that shit came. This is like, man, this shit is too strong. Nigga,
Hey, Runs will be on the show. Shout out to Runs.
Yeah, my tolerance went away, and then all of a sudden I start trying to
shout out to Runs.
Shit, you know, burning all these niggas, crossing shit up, all these different motherfucking different crosses. It's like, nigga, this shit was too strong. So now I just really damn near smoke just to go to sleep. I don't really fuck around. I be working out and shit. You know, nigga been on that health shit now.
Yeah, you is a buff ass nigga though, nigga.
Cut out all the fries.
Oh, buff ass nigga.
Pork and the red meat and all that shit. And you know, nigga been on his health shit now.
So you a vegetarian right now?
Nah, hell no. I know vegetarian.
Nah, he's like Larry June. Him and Larry June and Larry Senior. They eat good.
Yeah, I don't fuck with beef. I don't fuck with no pork. You know, all the fried shit. I try to cut every now and then. I cheat because nigga be having to have that fried chicken sometimes. You know, nigga be.
What about bacon? Do you like bacon?
I don't fuck with bacon.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man.
I used
My
to.
thing is this. This shit that's in the food, it's even in the vegetables, my nigga.
Plastic.
They got GMOs in the vegetables. They got all this type of steroids in all the food. Chicken, fish, everything got steroids, my nigga. So it ain't no way we could, being in America. Now, if you move out this bitch, you can eat better because the product, the food ain't like that. But as long as we getting this processed shit, we gonna all eat bad. You know what I mean? Period. But
you just gotta stay away from it as much as you can, even though
it's about how much you consume of anything.
Exactly.
That's really it. Of anything, you fucked. You over consuming water, you fucked. You know what I mean? So if you over consuming anything, you fucked. You gotta, you know what I mean? You moderate shit in moderation. You know what I mean? Probably red meat once a month. You know what I mean? Not every motherfucking day. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can't trust none of this shit. Even right now, even when we go buy like the ground turkey. We try to go fuck around with the, you know, the free roam and chicken and this and that, the farm. All that shit is, man, they just putting stamps and labels on that shit. You just got to really watch what you eat. Even going to Whole Foods and all that shit that I fuck with and stouts and all that shit. You really don't know what the fuck you really getting. You know what I mean? But I'm saying you just gotta like do shit in moderation. I try my best to stay away from processed shit. You know what I mean? So I try to stay away.
I link sandwiches with you. I love.
Yeah. I know my grandma damn near lived at like 90 eating pork.
Mine too, 107.
You know,
107 grand.
That nigga ate all, I mean, from chitlins to, man, I mean, all
that shit.
He lived till like almost about 80 some years old, but back then the food was different than what it is now. That's why they live longer. You know what I mean?
Chinese people live for fucking ever, lucky bastards.
In the 70s and 80s is different. All that shit start changing in the 90s, man. When all that microwave era and all that shit really start kicking in. All that fast shit started.
Hey, but you know what? Did you hear that? I just sent it to you, Yuck.
Let me land on that.
Go land on that.
When they made the fake bacon, sizzling, it was over.
Yeah. Move over, bacon. Here comes sizzling. Yeah.
When that shit came out, it was over because everything became sizzling. Everything is knockoff. Real shit. Everything is sizzling, nigga.
Real talk.
You feel me? Hey, so let's get back to the story. Okay, boom. So y'all was on Intermittent Records. How did y'all get signed?
Well, I had pressed up 1,000 units. Them motherfuckers sold quick. When they sold, Totally Insane was over there doing a deal with Jason over there in a minute. So TC ended up getting at me like, man, Jason and them was asking about you. And I was like, yeah, I was about to ask TC about how was they distributing their tapes or whatnot. So he was like, man, because what I did was I pressed up 1,000. I put them in a lot of stores. I think I have left some like TY. Yeah, I went to TY's. I went to Record Shop on 3rd. I went to Ocean Creative Music. I went to a few of them. All of like the little mom and pops and shit like that left, and the motherfuckers sold out. So when they sold out, they started to reorder. They couldn't get in touch with me, so they was hitting up Intermittent Records, basically music people, because they was the one stop. Intermittent was Jason label up inside there. Elliot, his father, was the one that ran the whole distribution. They was the one stop like City Hall. So when I got out there, what I did was I went pressed up off the 1,000. I made like about 5,000 off that shit. I did sold like got like $5 off of each one. So what I did was I went pressed up 5,000 at Music Annex in Hayward, and I brought the 5,000 out to Jason. When I got out there, he was just like, bro, what if I pay you COD for these, give you 25,000, and then I'll give you another 10 for us to press them up and to sign with us basically. And I was just like, nigga, hell yeah. I was trying to take that and go get me a brick or so, and I was trying to hit the block. I was like, this shit easy. I can make it. Ain't nothing. I'm like, I'm trying to go straight to the block. He trying to get us to read over the paperwork, go get a lawyer. I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to take this 35,000 and nigga, I'm not trying to buy no.
I'm trying to bubble.
None of that shit. I'm trying to bubble. I'm like, okay, my boy Ed, he gave me 1,000 for the first 1,000 copies. So I was like, I can get this nigga like 2,000, let him double his money. Mr. C, I can give him like 5,000-10,000, and the rest I'm finna go hit the block. I'm finna go see the man, and I'm trying to go get me a brick or two. So that was my whole plan. I wasn't even
allegedly.
Hold on. That's when they was like 12 and shit.
Yeah, it was like 12 and shit like that. 11, 5, 12,
nigga.
Shit like that. So I was already my plan to just go back to the block with that shit and
bubble up.
Because I was already bringing that shit back. I was bringing 36 back to like 51. You know what I mean? So
damn.
I was doing it now. That's how I was
getting scientist. That nigga's doing a BMF.
Motherfucking nigga, and I rock that bitch up, nigga, and get everything back that I took out that I'm getting high off of. Nigga, I'll take 2 zips out, get that 2 zips back, plus about 48. You know what I mean? So I was doing my thing. You know what I mean? Shout out Uncle Flop, nigga. He showed me how to do the
whip it good.
Hey, speaking of the whip appeal, man. My sister's baby father, man, my niece's father, Bruce from the 7 Deuce. He was
I remember he had some cool albums and shit.
Yeah. Bruce was the only nigga in Oakland that knew how to whip up a whole brick at one time. Just drop the whole brick in that bitch and whip it up, and then
fuck that.
Yes,
exactly.
So this nigga
was getting about that motherfucker.
Man, niggas would pay him to rock their whole shit up. They pay him like 3 bands to rock up the brick at one time, nigga. They was doing
it's a fucking headache.
Bro, they doing it at my sister's apartment, nigga. They give me about $500-600. Get the fuck up out of here. I go to NB Mall, nigga, start buying all types of Jordans and shit. You know what I mean? What that shit called? Harputs. I go to Harputs, buy all that
Harputs, the whole shit.
I get all the Run DMC.
Next, you know, you had Johan's jewelry.
Nah, nigga, this little teenager shit. But them niggas is rocking a brick. They breaking the motherfucker down with the Ginsu knife and the motherfucking sledgehammer and the motherfucking.
That's the only way I learned how to rock dope was blowing it up. That's how I came in the game.
Did you blow up the whole brick?
Shaker bottle when I started.
Was y'all dropping the whole brick in the pot?
The whole thing in a big ass pot. We was doing. That's all I knew how to do was a whole or a half. I didn't fuck with nothing below that. That's all.
You ain't never whipped up a zip.
Nah, I never fuck with a zip. I did quarter ounces when I first started off. When I graduated from the weed game to the coke, when crack first hit, this nigga put me on. This nigga Mike, man, one love and rest in peace to Mike. This nigga was a OG nigga that put me on, but you used to have to rock it yourself. Niggas didn't really know how to do it, so I used to go to the record shop, get them little bitty ass shaker bottles, and used to have like the. This is before we even knew about the baking soda. We was using like B12 with it and shit.
Yeah, B12. Exactly.
We was going getting the little B12 tablets,
pumping stuff. You gonna get the B12. The B12 for pumping stuff.
Exactly. We was using that shit and rocking it up a rock at a time. You know what I mean? Doing a 20 shot at a time, pretty much. And that's how I pretty much started off. But then when my uncle got into it and he started fucking with it, he was that nigga was Chef Boyardee for real. That's all he was doing was blowing shit up. And if it's holy, you drop it in there a little bit. You know, you might lose about 2 or 3, but you got it up to 53, 54 zips. You drop that motherfucker in just to seal up them holes in that motherfucker. And nigga, you come out with 47 solid. You know what I mean? And that's after taking that shit off, taking your extra.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So we was doing our thing, man. You know, statute of limitations in the past. That was back in the 80s. So we good.
Hey, well, fuck it. Shit, what else you gotta tell us? Don't tell nothing else, nigga. Leave it alone. Don't get yourself in no trouble on here.
Nah, he was a Frisco ice cream man, nigga, for real, nigga.
Hey, no, for real. Now Harvey was getting money though. I will say that my block.
It was that
nigga. You in the projects, nigga.
Yeah,
you know how much money is in the projects? I'm from the Bill. We got 2 projects. We didn't have to leave, nigga. Them 2 projects made niggas millionaires. Felix Mitchell,
Millionaires,
made niggas millionaires off just two projects. You got a project as big as the motherfuckers. I know y'all niggas is one. Nigga, Boo, my nigga had so much money.
Man,
nigga, Boo, nigga, I can imagine y'all. Nigga, Boo, nigga, he had an artist named Tex. Who, the nigga from Texas? Some nigga
Tex, that's my boy. Now, Tex wasn't really, they wasn't really getting money like that. Like, really, the era was when Flop and the Harper Boys and them was up there. That was the era. Boo was getting a little money. Boo was more like a broker, though. You know what I mean? Like, he was a nigga that you could trust. You could bring your money to him. Boo gonna take all y'all money and he gonna go see the man and then come back. That's what Boo was, really. Right. He was more like the middleman. He was a professional middleman. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's really what Boo was. And he got money in his time. Boo had his little run. He got a little money, but not like when us and Flopping them was up there. Like, we was young niggas. Like, we was getting money from, like, I was like 15, 16 niggas was up there with bricks. Me, Larry June. Like, we was all of us.
Shout out to Larry June, my nigga.
Yeah, all of us. Like, all of
the real Larry June, the rapper, was he older than
No, that's his daddy. His daddy.
His daddy, like, you know, my best friend, like, this to this day, me and that nigga, like, we just riding our hogs the other day. Like, that's my nigga. You know what I mean?
That's one of my favorite niggas too.
That's why his son, you know, that's the real little nephew. You know what I mean? We've been, me, him, and Boob, and all of us been together since diapers. You know what I mean? So, and we always been getting money. It always been friendly competition where we always was be the first niggas to hit 10,000, and we got the 10. The first niggas are gonna hit 20. Like, it was always like friendly competition and flipping whips and everything. We was like 15, 16. Boob with a Skylark. I got Skylark. Larry had his Cougar. Gold things on the motherfuckers. Everything. Candy paints. Going to brownies. Flipping them. Buds paint. Like, we was doing all that shit, going out there to Granny Goo-Goos, turf hats, coming back with troops and valleys, and like a lot of that Oakland style. I brought a lot of that shit to Frisco. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, like, we got facts. Yeah. We got what you do. You brought it from the town. You brought it to Frisco. I was that nigga. I always was a fly nigga over there going to Oakland, because a lot of niggas in the city used to. Yeah, Durant Mall, niggas at Durant.
Eastmont Mall.
Eastmont Mall and Durant.
Around at the time in the 80s, like from 86.
No, but Eastmont Mall was. Eastmont Mall, yeah.
And shit, getting the 415 on the side of your ass at Granny Goo-Goos and going to Fifth Avenue and Oxford Street, all that
Oxford
shit.
Street, Fifth Ave.
Yeah. Nigga, we used to be over there getting all that shit. That's when the troops and all that shit was, you know, was popping the double goose jackets and shit. You know what I mean? Niggas in the double gooses and shit, man.
I have my double goose nasty with the fur.
The double goose and the triple goose and the EK.
The triple goose, the triple fat goose.
I have all that.
Nigga, the EK matched the double goose because it was like snakeskin type of double goose. Like
it had the snakeskin little kind of feel on it, with the fur around the collar and all the shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Not snakeskin, but it had some leather that looked like the snakeskin on it.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, I had all that shit. Nigga being that man. I was like, that's what I say. I was one of the first niggas, even like niggas with Cameron with the pink shit. I had the pink triple fat goose with the pink Adidas, man, with the pink Lee Cox Sportif sweatsuit on, man. Niggas was fly, like niggas was
okay really, now. Okay,
niggas,
that's what I'm.
Boy, you had to be a boy to have a Lacoste Sportif because they was hard to find. You could find that at Mr. Z's. You could for Z-Man. None of that shit. You had to like really order that, nigga. Like,
that's a fact.
That ordered for us. We go to Myron and Gale's, man, on 3rd, and Myron and Gale. Myron was getting niggas all that shit, anything we wanted. You know what I mean?
Oakland had that. Oakland niggas had to go to Frisco to get it.
Yeah, we was getting all the rugby Adidas shit, sweaters and all that shit, and man, I'm talking about the I forgot that other one with the canoe shit and all that, with the Adidas sweaters, sweatsuits and all that shit. We had all that shit. The Elise, all that shit, man.
Elise, yeah.
This nigga, look at this nigga up here, right? This nigga is the only nigga from the Bay that rock LA Gears. Nigga, we will never rock LA Gears. I said he had the glow in the dark ones, the one that light up. I'm like, nigga,
I ain't ever seen a nigga with no LA gear on.
In the Bay? Never.
With a Jordan flight suit on.
This
I had the Payless joints.
I ain't gonna lie, LA Gears equivalent to like Skechers now or something, bro.
Hey, nigga, you didn't have some Payless shoes, Black.
Nah, I didn't have some
when I was a young nigga.
Come on now, don't give me that. Come on now.
even though we was in the projects, my mom, we was more like motherfucking upper middle class in the project. My mom always had a job as from Seeds Candy to motherfucking working at Bank of America Corporation. My daddy ran the gambling shack, you know what I mean, on Hunters Point Boulevard. So I was always spoiled. I always was able to go buy my shit at Hard Puts and Kaplan's and all that shit. And my brothers and them got their shit charged at Mervin's and Montgomery Wards and Emporiums and shit like that. She used a charge card for them, but I was always a spoiled nigga. You know what I mean? I was the first one as far as with her. You know what I mean?
Right. As far as with her.
So she spoiled me. You know what I mean? I was the first one.
Okay, so let's go back to the young shit, because I always say that the Bay Area had some of the first teenage millionaires from the block. Period.
Facts.
So let's go back. Let's go back to y'all having these old schools, man. One had a Cougar, one had a Skylark. Did y'all ever bring that shit? Did y'all ever bring that shit to Oakland for the sideshow?
Yeah, we always came out to the sideshow.
Let's go at the lake, something like that, man. Dismount your shit,
always. Man. Yeah, we don't, man. We used to always be at the sideshows. Stayed at them motherfuckers. Me and my boy Budweiser and all of us. Because Budweiser used to be the only one with a lot of beat. I got my beat later on. I used to flip my cars, but I didn't have that much music. And I used to have like 4 6x9s. But Budweiser, you know, who really got me
that shit.
That nigga's had 412. He'd just go get a paint job and just throw his hubcaps. He didn't really buy the rims, but that nigga spent all his money in beat. That nigga went over there to the beat shop and to Heineken and always had 415 hella beats in that motherfucker. And you know, later on, my Skylark, I ended up getting like the 412 hella beats. I had the Zap, the Zeus. I actually just took that shit.
Oh, you gotta have a Zap. Nigga, you had no Zap. You had to have a Zap on the lap.
You gotta have a Zap.
Plug always fucking up.
I had a Zap. The Zap with the Zeus, man, that you slumping. I was slumping later on.
Big ass amp. I had all that.
But now we had all that shit though. Motherfuckers had you know, we stayed out there at the side shows. Stayed fucking with that shit. Cause you know, we was a fan of 415, Richie Rich talking about the side shows and all that shit. So, you know, like I said, we always stayed in Oakland. Not everybody came over there, but our little clique up on Harbor, we always was out rolling. And niggas used to think we was Oakland niggas the way we was dressed and shit. Like even when the van eras came out, when niggas was wearing Vans a whole lot, like we used to be in all that shit. You know what I mean? Going over there, Vans on, the whole nine. You know what I mean? So yeah, niggas was fly, bro. And like I said, I had a bunch of whips, Cougars, Skylarks. You know, Skylarks was our thing in the city, you know, out there. And you know, y'all niggas was on Falcons and Mavericks and like a lot of that shit that we got. A few niggas got fucked with.
Mustangs,
all the Fords and shit.
Falcons.
You know what I mean?
They had crews. Nigga, they had the Falcon crew, the Chevy crew. Niggas had crews. Nigga pulling up back to back.
They had whips out there. You know what I mean? You had a few niggas that was trying to copy and start getting like Falcons. I had a Maverick and shit that I ended up flipping and shit. You had a few niggas getting it, but we was mainly more into Skylarks and shit. You know, us and EPA was more Skylarks. You know what I mean? We always flipped Skylark.
That shit so fast. Drop top.
Mm-hmm.
That shit fast.
Yeah.
That shit get real, my nigga.
So I just got mine out. Mine done. I just got my little jewel that I had from the block since '87. That motherfucker, I just brought him back. Renovated that motherfucker, brought him all the way back. He whipped up candy, everything. Got the Zeniths on that motherfucker.
And clean. That bitch probably worth 60 or 70 right now.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
yeah, we did the LS swap in that thing. Got that LS3 in that motherfucker. Digital dash.
You put the LS in that boy?
Yeah, we running right now. Niggas tear shit up.
Man, you need to post that there so we could go ahead and let everybody see what you're talking about. That shit, can we have a post tomorrow so everybody go to your Instagram?
I actually got the whole on my. I posted it like about a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Show a picture. Put your phone to the screen. Show the picture. Just put the phone.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Acquire online. I want to see what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. What's up with the high performance?
We actually got a side-by-side picture of how it looked back then and how it's looking now. Let me see.
Shit, I might have to come borrow that shit. Fuck it.
Richie Rich had one of the coldest Cougars, and the Gov had one of the coldest Cougars.
Yes.
The Gov and Richie Rich had some of the coldest Cougars. And
so this is let me see. This was 1980. This is 1988, and then 2023.
Oh, what's that?
That's a Skylark drop top.
That's a Skylark.
Oh, that's a lark, boy. What year?
Damn, you like two different people.
What year?
Yeah, I know, huh? That was me in 1988 with the Dayton's and Vogues on it, chrome, and now I'm gold out. We instead of the fade, because we used to go do the fades back then. Now I just did the like niggas do on the dunks. I did sort of like the little marathon flag fade on that motherfucking shit.
Oh,
You
that
know,
bitch
That's nice.
Yeah, so we brought him back, but you can see it clear on my page and shit. I got it on my RBL Posse page on
So that's Instagram. Well, let everybody know the Instagram. You can check it at RBL Posse, or you go to at Black C.
RBL Posse. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey,
Follow
so
that, you guys.
let's take it back, man, because I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. This is a story that niggas don't know. Frisco niggas put me on
Mm-hmm.
without even knowing.
What the fuck?
Without even knowing.
Exclusive.
Indirectly. Indirectly.
Okay.
The ice cream man was made because of a Frisco nigga I was locked up with in camp. Named
Wow.
Demo.
Exclusive.
Demo from GLP. He
Oh,
was locked-
Demo? Oh, that's
Demo.
Demo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demo the youngster.
Demo the youngster. Yeah, that's my nigga.
That nigga was locked up with me, man. And I you know, I play with the rap, me and them. You know, we rapping in junior high and shit, but I'm back to hustling. I'm fuck rap. So this nigga, I come to camp, right? This nigga got a song where he's touring. They taking this nigga from pod to pod. Nigga, this juvenile, that juvenile, he's doing a fucking tour off of
In jail. In jail.
Wow.
Off a positive song. Off a positive rap song called Cancer Stick. Tell a nigga to stop smoking cigarettes.
Wow. That's
What?
Yo,
Exclusive.
yes. He had one called Cancer Stick. Any nigga locked up, nigga. Fooney was locked up with us. Fooney from
Town business. Yeah, that's
Fooney was locked up with us. Foon could vouch for this, nigga. That nigga had Cancer Stick, and he was Drake and Juvenile with Cancer Stick. And I'm like, nigga, I can rap. Let me make me a Cancer Stick.
Right.
And I wrote the Ice Cream Man, my nigga.
Wow.
Whoa, exclusive.
That's
the first right there. Hearing that Demo.
That's Demo, the youngster.
That's dope.
Nigga, turned me on,
dope.
nigga. That nigga was
What?
lit. Yes. That nigga made me write the Ice Cream Man because that Cancer Stick. He was what? Nigga, they used to get this nigga all types of shit. Nigga, man, listen, man. He didn't even have to be in. His weekends, you know, niggas get weekends in camp. That nigga stays like Tuesday or something and don't come back.
That's how it was when I was at Log Cabin. After you there for about 90 days and you can earn home passes and shit and go home for the weekend and bring your ass back. That's how it was at Log Cabin out there in the city.
He wasn't coming back on Sunday. He could come back like on Tuesday and it's cool. He had that type of shit. You know what I mean? No warrant go out for the nigga or nothing. He'd pop up on Tuesday on a nigga like, boom, he good. So I'm like, nigga. So I made the Ice Cream Man, you know what I mean? And it was more of a, you know what I mean, street shit, you know what I mean? And the niggas in jail related to it. But Frisco niggas, man. Let's talk about that, bro. Y'all influenced with rap.
That's
man.
exclusive.
No, that's real shit. So you mentioned Andre Nicotina, man.
Mm-hmm.
So did you like JT was out there, Andre out there, you know what I mean? You got Demo the youngster, you got San Quinn, you know what I mean? Like how did y'all ever link up or was you around?
Yeah, how we linked up was when I put out Bama Weed, my nigga Lonnie Green, Pop Tart, who used to dance with Rapping Forte, he was standing on our block. And what happened was Lonnie Green was like, Black, bro, you need to, you the only nigga that can really pull niggas together. You need to reach out to the niggas over in Fillmore, bro. Lonnie was originally from Fillmore, so he stayed on Harbor. He was like a nigga that had a pass. We was funking at the time. It was like war going on, turf wars in Frisco. Us funking with Sunnydale, us funking with Fillmore, the whole nine. So me and JT, all of us niggas wasn't cool at the time. And so right before the album, before I was doing the deal with Jason, I ended up calling. He ended up calling over there to Pigskins and Creature Man and them niggas, and I end up, telling them niggas like, bro, you niggas got my word. Come over to Harbor, nigga. Let's go on and pull a little truce thing together. Let's bring this shit together. And but first I tapped into my big homie Nard Temple on Oakdale. That nigga, he heavily respected in the city. You know what I mean? That nigga was that nigga. So I knew as long as I got him, I wouldn't worry about nobody else. Everybody else gonna fall in line. So I ended up reaching out to Nar like nigga, whatever you want to do, Black is good. I'm like, yeah, just in case niggas, I bring them up here, these niggas get to tripping. I want niggas to have to shoot that fade, shoot them one-on-ones, and we just get it over with. So if nigga get to pulling up and he tripping, we're gonna ask him who he tripping with, and the nigga can thump it out. Or you get to calling niggas out with them one-on-ones, niggas automatically want to kind of like, oh no, I'm good. They don't, niggas with the Rat Pack, but when you get to talking about nigga got to throw them things, niggas be a little bit hesitant. So that's what we did. And JT, all the niggas came up there. They trusted, took my word. They came up there the next day deep. The niggas came up there like 20, 30 deep to my block. Hell, the niggas start pulling up from the surrounding neighborhood, Oakdale, West Point. And we end up telling niggas like, nigga, it's a truce. From this day forward, niggas is like, we good. Any nigga got a problem, and you got a problem with somebody, niggas can thump it out right now. And nobody got quiet. Nobody had a problem. And nigga, I said like a week later, we was at the Stone on Broadway performing. You know what I mean? We ended up performing together, us, GLP. Well, it wasn't GLP, which is they wasn't. I ain't for sure if they was GOP just yet. But then JT came up to Harbor, and I'm the one that showed JT where to press his first album up at. He didn't know how to do the shit.
What exclusive?
I took him. He'll tell you right now to this day. That's why that's my brother from another mother. That's my nigga. You know what I mean? He'll tell you right now, if it wasn't for that nigga Black, bro, taking me out the music annex, showing me how to do the artwork, showing me how to press it up, I wouldn't know how to do this shit. And I took that nigga out there to Fremont. It was out in Fremont, not Hayward. It was Fremont. I took him to Fremont, the music annex, and that's where he pressed up his first that album cover. I think it was probably a black and white cover. And he dropped his album, and from there, me and JT been tight ever since. You know what I mean? Got real tight. And Quinn and them came on later on, like him and Hitman. A lot of them, they came along probably like 2-3 years later. They was young. They was youngsters. You know what I mean? Because even when we did the song with Quinn, Frisco niggas ain't no punk, I believe that was in like 93, 94. So they came along like a little while later and shit, after the true shit. So when they came in, everything was smooth with them. You know what I mean? But yeah, we all had to make that transition. And I say like a week after that, we ended up doing a show with the Gov. It was the Gov and Richie Rich and Totally Insane, all of us at the Stone with Sir Mix-a-Lot. And after that, it was off to the races. We was all good. And me and Gov got tight that night too. That's my nigga.
That's dope. Yeah, that's
Shout out Gio. You know that's cousin, man.
A family right there. Shout out to Gov. Hey, that nigga cracks a kick with that nigga all the time too.
Gov was a fool.
That's my nigga. That nigga Gov.
Gov is Gov, nigga.
Yeah, Gov is Gov, man. Hey, I love that nigga. He just hit me up about 2 weeks ago through this white boy. He seen that footage I put out from the Stone. He didn't know I had all that footage. He's like, man, get that Black. That's my nigga. Tell him, man. The white boy guy. I said, bro, this footage ain't going nowhere. You better get the okay from Gov. So he ended up sending me Gov a little line through the little do a little message and shit. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's really him. He like, Black, man, it's all good, man. He got my blessing. Get that nigga the footage. So I gave him and Richie Rich performance from that night back in 92.
Nice.
Free to Gov, nigga. You know he about
Free
to
come
on.
Yeah, he about to come on. Yeah. Free Gov.
You mentioned bully around this motherfucker. That's my nigga, man.
That's my nigga.
That nigga was Suge before Suge was started.
Right.
Right.
Facts.
Free JoJo. But you mentioned something that everybody wants you to talk about, man. How did you link up with Hitman?
Hitman came through my young nigga, my nigga Mars. Mars was a young nigga who used to come up to my studio, and he wanted to do beats and shit. He used to sit up there with me while I'm making music and shit. And he started his own studio. He ended up buying a little equipment, trying to mimic my studio. And Hitman was one of the young niggas that was at his house. He was fucking with the younger generation. The niggas who really couldn't come to my house and rap, they was younger. He had all them, NOH Mafia, my niggas, Alias, all them niggas. He had a crew. So he had about, to be honest with you, he brought me my whole label was the niggas from his studio. You know what I mean? Like Mars really, I could say, started the right way. My label the right way. He pretty much brought me all the artists because everybody that was on my roster was people that came from his studio. I didn't fuck with none of the young niggas, the older niggas who was actually coming to my studio. They was all set in their ways, doing their own thing. You get niggas to try to come in. You want them to come in and perform. I mean, and do songs. They all hustling. I'll be there later, and that's kind of like how I started rapping. Niggas bullshitting all the time, so I started rapping on the beats and shit. You know what I mean? But he brought Hitman up. He ended up telling me like, I got this youngster, bro. He he my homie. He dope as hell. He said he want to come up here, but he from Sunnydale, and the niggas keep fucking with him and like chasing him off. And I was just like, nah, tell him it's good. He can come up here. I said, you got some music on him? And he played me some of his music, and I was just like, damn, this nigga dropping all type of metaphors and punchlines and just like the cartoons and shit. He was incorporating cereal, and like it was crazy the way he was incorporating it in his rap. So I was just like, man, bring him up here. I'm gonna put that stamp on him. He ain't nobody gonna fuck with him. I'll let everybody know that he good. So when he brought him up there the next day, it was on ever since. He came up there. I ended up taking him down to the Studio B, my Studio B, the back room, and we did a couple songs, man. And the whole block fell in love with that nigga. The way he came on representing Harbor the way he did. He was trying to let it be known, like, I come from Sunnydale, but nigga, I'm on Harbor. I'm with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all now. So yeah, and he was only like about 12 years old at the time. You know what I mean? So
what?
Yeah, he was like 12 years old when he first came around, and he was spitting like a grown ass man. And man, the shit that he was just talking about was just crazy. I was just like, God damn. But what he told me, what he used to do is I used to get a lot of his shit, which I kind of started doing it because I wasn't really a lyrical nigga. I use it'd come on accident sometime. Like I really wasn't a nigga that kind of sit around and be thinking of shit that like slick shit to say. It's just kind of I just rap and use my voice really. But he was like, man, all I do is kind of like sitting. You remember the preview guy? They used to just scroll up and shit on the old cable channel.
Yeah.
He used to look at that and he might see Sylvester Stallone, Rambo, or First Blood, and he'd, like Sylvester Stallone, First Blood. Like that's where he got a lot of his lyrics from. He like drown your ass in Ricky's Lake, and like he looking at the preview guide and getting shit from there.
That's tight.
And I was just like, damn, that's dope as hell. So I kind of started using that little concept and start getting a little bit lyrical, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's how Hitman came around. He came through my nigga Mars. Shout out Mars, man. He's still doing this thing.
Shout out to Mars.
Making it happen. And yeah, he brought me my whole fucking label, pretty much. You know what I mean?
It's been some blessings.
God did. Look how God worked, my nigga.
God worked. God did it. That's big.
Speaking of Hitman, an eye for an eye, bro.
Yeah.
Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
Love that album.
Big Cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the deal? Oh no, Big Beat.
Big Beat, yeah.
Yeah. How did y'all get the deal with Big Beat, and what was when after y'all got the deal? You know what I mean? Like, how did y'all feel to be signed to a major, bro?
It was dope. It was one of those bittersweet things, man, because at that time the deal was lucrative, and Mike Karen, Craig Callaman, who the nigga now, he the man at Atlantic Records right now. He the big dog. But Big Beat was his label. That was his subsidiary label of Atlantic Records. He the one that came and signed us. We had like Relativity at us. We had Def Jam. We had Priority. We had a few labels like throwing money at us, but he flew out to come and went to lunch with me and Mr. C and was like, look, I want to sign y'all. Jason over there trying to do a deal with the whole label. I don't want the whole In a Minute. I'm a fan of y'all. I'm a fan of y'all work. He was a real fan. He knew our songs. He rapping and shit and the whole, like, Craig was a fan. And he like, I want to make it happen with y'all. And he said, what we got to do is just try to buy him out. We know y'all own one more record. He said, instead of us waiting around, let's just give him some money. And we didn't want to pay him at the time because Jason had owed us like fucking almost like it was like 600 and some thousand that we had figured out he'd owe, because we never got a royalty check from those first two albums. We didn't get shit. We was really living off of show money and shit. And we'd go out there argue. He might throw us 2,700 or 3,000. He was giving us little crumbs for us that had sold so many units. And but Craig was just like, fuck all that. Y'all gonna make a lot of money fucking with me over here. I got distribution through Atlantic Records, and I think y'all gonna be the guys. You know what I mean? So he, put together the deal. It was worth some millions, and we loved it, but then we ended up losing Mr. C. We were supposed to sign a deal in February, so we lost Mr. C that January 1st. So it kind of fucked everything up, put me in a slump. But he still believed in me though. He was just like, he gave me like about a couple months. He ended up getting at me around like probably like March, April. He ended up calling me up and was just like, Black, I know this, probably a bad time to get at you about, business and all that. But, I'm just letting you know, I still want to go forward with the deal. He said, we're going to have to make some adjustments. I'm going to have to probably chop it in half or whatnot. He said, but I'm moving over to Atlantic. I'm going to become the president over there. He said, so I still want you to do it. He said, how you feel about bringing Hitman in and not necessarily taking Mr. C place, but just, kind of filling the void. And, he said he lyrical pretty much like him. You already had him pretty much on y'all last album. How you feel about him just pretty much stepping in and y'all still being RBL Posse and we still going forward with the deal? And I was just like, shit, hell yeah, let's do it. I was like, I'm with that. So he said, I'll adjust the numbers a little bit. And if you agree with it, then we can move forward and keep it going. So, and what fucked our deal? Well, we ended up doing the deal. It was a nice deal still, even though he chopped the numbers, it was still nice. Our first album, we got like it started at like 325 instead of us starting at like 775. We started at like 325 and then it moved up from there. Our first album with Mr. C was going to be like 775 and our other one was going to be like the second was like 1.2 or something like that. And it just keep going up. But he ended up starting us at like 375. And we ended up doing a deal, but he left. So we were stuck there with Mike Karen. Mike Karen was more like an East Coast dude. He was like in the Red Man and them and all that. Like he really didn't fuck with West Coast shit. But he had the A&R the project, and he ended up making him president at Big Beat. And that's what kind of fucked the whole chemistry up with us, because then he started doing that shit where he started trying to send me a lot of East Coast producers and shit that I wasn't really fucking with. And the beats that I was producing, he didn't really care for. And I'm like letting him know, like, bro, Craig Cattleman signed me because of what I do, because of what RBL bring to the table, because of what we do. Now you got us at the table, and this motherfucker like pulling up like Master P. Can you make songs like this? And then had me tripping out. I'm like, this motherfucker really playing Master P music, the shit that at the time No Limit was blowing the fuck up. So he playing Master P shit, telling us like, you got to make shit like this. We need singles like this and like. So, that shit didn't work out. And, I ended up going back independent. I walked away. They owed me another album. It was 2 mandatory albums and one optional. So I ended up walking away from that shit though. But it was cool though. The first album ended up doing good. I didn't produce nothing on it really. I did probably maybe 2 beats, but I ended up meeting Rick Rock during that process. And Rick Rock produced most of the album, him and Mike Mosley. You know what I mean? So them niggas was that sound for the eye for an eye. Rick Rock, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's how that shit went about.
Hey, man. Yo, I'm glad you said that, bro, because they don't give motherfuckers their credit. You know what I mean? Like, Rick came in the mix through y'all.
First. Yeah, he did.
First.
What? Exclusive. Didn't know that.
It wasn't through 40 and them. It was through these niggas first, bro.
Exactly.
Then niggas start like, oh, Rick got it, Rick. And then Jay-Z, all these other niggas, but they was the first, bro.
When he produced that fucking How We Coming with Mystical and all that shit, because I met Mystical over there. Actually,
like Mosley was already fucking with 40 and them though, and fucking C and them, but we never
he
heard
was phasing out. Mike Mosley was phasing out because Rick Rock was on the rise. Because even when I went over there to go fuck with Mike Mosley. You know what I mean? Because I was a fan of the shit he did for SIBO. So I'm like over there, I need some of that shit. So I went to go fuck with him, but all the beats he was pulling up, it was mainly like Femi, the nigga on who be playing the bass, Femi. Him and Rick Rock really had the shit. Everything, every beat he was pulling up, I was like, I'll pass on that. And he'll play another. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Then I went to about 8, 9, about probably 15 beats, and the 8 I picked. He was like, nigga, you picked all Rick Rock shit. I'm just gonna put you in here with him. And he called Rick Rock in. And he was like, man, you going to work with them niggas, he picking all your shit. So, and me and Rick Rock got tight in the motherfucker. And man, that nigga produced damn near the whole album. I think he produced probably 70-80% of that album. And same thing happened with Mystical. Mystical came to get some shit from Mike Mosley, and he ended up getting 3-4 songs from Rick Rock. You know what I mean? And we ended up doing our collabo.
Shout out
And
Mike Mosley. You know what I mean?
Shout
He
out
could
Mike.
have been a hater. Like,
Mike
fuck
was
that.
that
nigga.
bridge though. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike was that bridge though.
Yeah, he could have said, nah, nigga, he could have played his only his beats. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, he could have. No, he could have hated like a motherfucker. He could have just been like, well, y'all don't want none of my shit. Y'all don't hear nothing. Ain't nothing I could do. He could have sent us on our way, but he was like, nah, Rick Rock, come on up in here. And man, we got tight in the motherfucker. And that's when Goldie and then when they was Ken Smoke at the time, and we ended up getting hella tight with them niggas. Yeah, they was Ken Smoke
What
at
this
the
shit was
time.
called that they did with Ed Banks? Southern Day out in the Bay. What was it one?
Yeah.
When they was on the water.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that motherfucker. They did something. They did a couple. They did one with Herm Lewis. They did a dope one.
The
and
one
I
when
ended
they
up
was
doing one.
on the
No time
boat,
for that.
nigga, on the water. That was the one. That was the player one. But them niggas with the shit too.
Before they was a federation, man, Ken Smoke. Yep.
So look, back to Hitman, right? Did you sign Hitman after that?
Yeah, well, Hitman was I never signed none of my artists. I never had them on paperwork. It was just always a handshake. They were just homies. You know, I just was pretty much just working with him.
Was he up under your blueprint? Because he dropped a solo
album
after that, right?
Yeah, the solo album dropped in '95. Actually, before like 2 years before we did the Atlantic shit. That motherfucker. That's how I bought this house. Shit, that motherfucker sold. I did that CD for CD. That motherfucker. He sold out the trunk. I pressed up like 140,000 of them motherfucker. Walter was CODing me like a motherfucker. Every time I bring 5,000 out, he was 50,000. 50,000. He was writing me big checks. You know what I mean? And that's how I ended up buying this house. Shit, I ended up stacking. I didn't get paid. A lot of people thought we got paid through the RBL shit, but we wasn't really making no money on that. And Mr. C was mad the motherfucker. He didn't invest when I told him to invest in right way. When the little crumbs we got from Jason, I was like, bro, going to put some of that into the right way. He's like, man, I gotta pay bills. You don't only do it by yourself. I put that Hitman shit out. That motherfucker blew up. That nigga was mad the motherfucker. He didn't invest. Nigga, me and Hitman was out here running around eating like a motherfucker.
How much we do? How much was the investment? What was he supposed to give me? How much?
It was like 3,500. We went out there and we had got a little check. He gave us like 7,000, and we didn't get no money for it, man, because Mr. C wasn't really a hustler. I was still had extracurricular shit going on. I'm on the block.
Right.
He really wasn't fucking around like that. Mr. C was one of them dudes that, he didn't come from really that lifestyle. You know what I mean? He was like one of them good dudes brought up kind of in the church, like, and all that type of shit. Like, he wasn't no motherfucker that was born and raised in the projects. He was born in the house. He down off Oakdale, staying with his grandparents, go out to his mom's house. Like, just all he did was rap, listen to fucking jazz and fucking, East Coast motherfuckers, like lyrical shit, and fucking with bitches. He was more like, one of them more little gigolo motherfuckers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. He was doing his
thing. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? He didn't have to prove himself, but I mean, he was a nigga that'll fight you, and if he play his part, when he got up there, he became Harbor Road like a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Like a motherfucker.
Like a motherfucker, but he just wasn't selling no dope or nothing. But when niggas fell out with West Point and all that, that nigga was front lining for sure. You know what I mean? But he just really wasn't up there. He didn't grow up with us up there really in the projects like that. You know what I mean? He only been up there since 92. You know what I mean? Right before the album had. So he had just came, but probably into 91. You know what I mean? So yeah, he had, had a couple years in up there and shit. And, he had nickel and dime here and there, but he really wasn't really moving like that. Cause in Rap Check, we was getting so much money doing the rap shows, we getting 7,000 a show and all that shit. So we really didn't sweat Jason like that. You getting 7 or more. We going out living in Detroit and all that shit, Kansas City, all that shit. So we stayed on the road back then.
You moved to Atlanta for a second, didn't you?
That was in 08, like 06, 08.
You had moved. I remember. Yeah.
From 08 to 2011, I was out in Atlanta, fucking off. Yeah, but that was just on some grind.
Yeah, recipe to Cougnut, RP Cougnut too. Yeah,
recipe to Hitman.
Hitman.
Yes, sir.
I want to salute you for keeping the torch lit. You could have said fuck it, bro. You know what I mean? You could have tapped out like, bro, both my members ain't here no more. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I could just kick back, relax. You know what I mean? Whatever investments I got going, I'm good. You know what I mean? Thank you for keeping the torch alive, my nigga. Y'all legendary group.
Appreciate that.
Your niggas from heaven You know what I mean? Your angels from heaven is like, do that shit, my
Real
nigga.
talk.
Because
Real
you know
talk.
what I mean? Keep our name alive. Not only the group name, but our name. Because every time you do the show, every time you put out an album, it's representing all y'all, my nigga, the whole lineage.
Come on now.
Real shit.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, let's talk about some of the things you just dropped. Let's talk. You want to talk about the book first, or you want to talk? Or you want? What do you want?
Yeah. The book, man. Yeah, the book just dropped in December. Yeah, that motherfucker is ready. Out and about. It's called Black Sea. Part of survival from the block to the booth, man. You know what I mean? So if you don't got it, go get it, man. It's definitely one of the ones you pick it up. You ain't gonna want to.
How many pages is it?
It's 200 and something. About 200 and something.
Okay, it's got a good back on them. Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us a synopsis of it? Tell us a little bit about the book a little bit. Let's start with that.
It's basically from the block to the booth. Exactly what it said. A part of survival. Just basically for me, being part of the turf war shit, you know what I mean? All the shit before RBL, all the way up to meeting Mr. C, to going through the block fallout shit, falling out with the label, you know, all the shit. The turf wars when I got shot in the eye, when I lost my eye, all that shit. You know, everything is up in there. You know what I mean? I talk about everything, all the ups and downs, trials and tribulations. You know, like I said, losing limbs, losing loved ones, the whole shit. So that's basically what it's about, and still being here right now. So, you know what I mean? It's just basically, like I said, from the block, from everything from the block to the booth, you know what I mean? Just all the going through all the turmoil, you know what I mean? You know, all the hurdles and shit a nigga had to go through, man, just in this whole process. You know what I'm saying?
Is there audio on that?
You said like an audio book?
Is there audio on that book as well?
Nah, I gotta. Now, Ghazi done got at me and told me to put it together. I'm gonna go on and do it. I was gonna get somebody else to do it, but everybody telling me I need to use my own voice and all that shit. So that shit gonna take some time.
Hold on.
You know?
Ghazi do books too, or he just trying to get the audio part?
Well, he just want to help me. You know, that's my nigga. He you know, he look up to me as a big homie. So it's like, you know,
y'all Frisco niggas. Yeah, Frisco producers.
Yeah. It's that Frisco thing. You know what I mean? Because Ghazi do play favoritism when it comes to me, man. I love my guy to death, man. He always, when I call him, he answer that motherfucker. By texting me, he answer right away. I don't give a fuck who he with or how big the person is next to him. He always show me love. You know what I mean? He don't put me on no.
Man, I've been knowing Ghazi forever. Shout out to Ghazi, man.
Yeah, and I've been fucking with him since he was pressing my singles, like before he was even at
Shout out Ghazi, shout out Empire, nigga. We all. I fuck with Ghazi when he was at. I fuck with guys when he was at End Grooves, and he said, "I'm leaving," and I left End Grooves to go with Ghazi, nigga. That's how much I fuck with him. I could have stayed at End Grooves, nigga. I left. Exactly. Ghazi said, "I'm gone," and that was my point person.
I just took a motherfucking position, like he offered me a position when he first left, and he ended up getting Nima. When Nima came from Dub CNN, the little website and all that shit, and started fucking with him. And he was like, "Black, you want to be a part of it?" And I'm mad as fuck. I didn't get in and get comfortable over there with the A&R position or something. I was just doing my own thing. You know, I'm so used to being independent and doing my own thing. I just kind of brushed it off like, I don't know if I'm, you know.
That's the same thing Hitman did. That's what not that Mr. C was supposed to do. He did the same thing, right?
Exactly.
That's the right way.
Exactly,
I grew up with Ghazi too. I've been knowing Ghazi forever. Me and him we was going to CSM together too. We had Black History class together. Ghazi was always on time. Yeah, that nigga was like, he was always on time.
That's love, man. Shit. Now Ghazi a good dude, man. That's one thing I do like.
He's a Leo, the lion.
He actually put motherfuckers in power positions to really control their own destiny and shit. And that's what I like. You know what I mean? I don't be asking for no favors, no nothing. Just look, show me how to do shit. Show me where to spend my money. And I do it myself. Show me how to get that feature on iTunes. And, you know, he'll let me know. Man, let me know about these billboards, how these motherfuckers is getting all these billboards around it. You know, he'll look out and just like, look, here are the people to call. This is what the prices is. Let them know, you know, whoop, you coming to me.
He get you to the, it's up to you to drink it. He can get you there.
Exactly. So,
shout out to Ghazi, man.
Yeah, shout out Ghazi for sure, man.
And we'd like to say shout out to DJ. And we gotta say shout out to DJ Fresh. You and him just had an exclusive. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Yeah, the refreshed album. So the first album, this was our last year was our 30-year anniversary in September. So September 16th was when we dropped our album professionally. It came out before that when I was on the streets with it, but the actual release date was September 16th. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DJ Fresh
That was DJ Fresh.
won the first refreshed album. So he played over basically about like 8. He remixed pretty much or refreshed 6 to 7 of our songs on there. So yeah, man, that thing doing numbers, man. That motherfucker doing good as hell. It ended up when it first dropped, it placed at 32, like number 32 on iTunes. So it did good. You
Congratulations,
know what I mean?
man. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a big move because shit, a lot of my solo shit I don't think placed that high when I dropped it. So I'm hoping like a motherfucker this Thursday night, shit, Friday, whatnot. This new
Tell them
album
what's going on. What's happening? You got the new. Let's talk about that. It's dropping this week.
New album, man. The Black Album, man. Yeah, that motherfucker, man. Yeah, I got Larry June on that thing. I got Jay Worthy, Compton Ass TG. I got who else I got on there? Michi. I got Doobie, aka Sugar Wolf on that thing. My boy Joe Fresco.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a bunch of producers, Foley and all them dudes, man, and my boy C Dub too. I forgot he featured on there, CW the third. So yeah, man, I'm working, man, and I got another album sitting. So this is priority right here, the Black Album, and in June I got the Heavy In It album that I'm dropping, man. This is a little bit different than this album. So man, I'm working. This year gonna be real busy for a motherfucker.
Well, I guess I guess you're gonna have Yuck on that album too, huh?
Man, we got a collab. Ain't nobody. This album got all the features. My next album didn't have nobody on it, but now I'm starting to regroup and starting to rethink because it's like a bunch of young niggas been getting at me like, bro, let's do some shit. You know, I might fuck around with motherfuckers like DB the Generals and get a Yuck mouth on there. You know, fuck with
yeah.
There's like some of the niggas from our era and shit like that. You know,
get a Filthy Rich on there. Get Filthy on there. Filthy go hard.
Like that. That's what I'm finna do. So a lot of the songs that I ain't got nobody on, my work is done. Exactly. My work is done. So all I got to do is just find the right songs that they can, pretty much fit, they can, mob with and can really, utilize they skills on. I don't want to give them no shit they ain't feeling, so I'm gonna try to find something that everybody can fit. And
so is the album more mob? Is it gonna be more of a mob album?
Well, this album is a little bit. It's kind of all over the place. I ain't gonna say it's mob because I got like some motherfucking G-funk type shit on there. I got some smooth laid back shit on there, soulful samples. I got like some mob shit. It's a little bit of everything on this one. The Heavy In It album is a little bit more laid back. It's a little bit more soulful and like slow mob type shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I got to kind of readjust a little bit because it's. I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker's like a Quiet Storm album. That motherfucker, one of the ones you just want to kick back and smoke to. Because I fuck with a lot of Larry June and Currency producers on there. So, they make that smoke music.
That chill, smoke music. Yeah.
I got a lot of that shit. That album was supposed to come now. And I was gonna say this Universal album, but closer to summer. But I was just like, I don't want to come with no laid back shit right now. I gotta hit them up tempo. That's why I dropped that first single, Get It Cracking, where it's just more up tempo, upbeat. So let me get that motherfucker out and let me throw some just some funk and some shit out just to warm it up. Then I can lay back a little bit later on. But even now, I'm gonna still mix that motherfucker up, like you said, get Yuck, get a few motherfuckers up on there, man. Some motherfuckers from my area because I really want to do some shit with Yuck. I want to do some shit with Bo again. I want to definitely get, like you said, the youngsters on there.
What about Spice One? You want Spice to be nasty?
Yeah, Spice was supposed to be on my last album when I got Yuck and Bo and all them on. My Still Ruthless album, I had all them on there. Spice was supposed to be on it. He ended up faking on me, so I ended up throwing Marvelous in his place. It was supposed to be a song with me, him, and Sebo.
Shout out to Marvelous and Spice.
Yeah, Marvelous, man. I want to love her, but she held her own, that motherfucker. She got on that bitch and killed it.
Marvelous is hella tight. Shout out to Marvelous.
No,
dope, man.
Check this out. Marvelous is our Northern Cali Rage.
Motherfucking right.
Serious. Rage is dope as fuck.
Rage dope with a motherfucker.
They always leave Rage out of the female top list. Like Rage was shit on one of them Nicki Minaj bitches.
You
Rage
know what it
was
be though? It just be that she out of sight, out of mind. That's all it be. But once you mention her name, motherfuckers will be like, "Oh shit!"
Oh
but
shit!
Motherfucker, she fucking motherfucker. She fucking niggas up. Let
Rage
alone the
was fucking
females.
Death Row
Rage is
niggas up.
lyrical. Woo!
Fucking
Rage,
Death Row
man.
niggas up. Who
Fucking
started
them
off
up.
Snoop album? Not Snoop. Rage, nigga.
Rage.
Facts.
Hold on, you gotta be that bitch to start off the Snoop, the debut
Motherfucking right.
after Dre. Come
Man.
on,
Man,
that was
Rage.
bad.
Facts.
Shout out
Oh
Rage.
my
Facts.
God. He didn't
But
get
look,
a chance to shine like she wanted to because of all that shit, man. But yeah, she that girl.
Yeah, facts.
yeah, she the one, nigga. And then look, we gotta take it back to y'all shit, man. I heard you mention a name, Booby, man. And I seen you and Boo both had interviews on Vlad TV talking about past issues. As of today, man, have y'all ever sat down and really got to the bottom of it, or still, on some old shit?
Yeah. Nah. Boob is, Boob is like my cousin for real.
Yeah, but
I grew up
he's your cousin. I want to say, any of your cousin?
He my play cousin, but we grew up as cousins and shit. But my mama and his mama and my boy D Folks who be with me on stage. D Folks who with me on stage is his real cousin. His mama and both of their mamas are sisters. But D Folks is on me and him always was tight. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things that kind of put a wedge in our relationship because he used to be kind of a little bit jealous. He might say he wasn't, but he used to be a little bit jealous of me and Dewan relationship, D Folks relationship, because that's his real cousin. But me and him was always tight, sharing clothes. He ride with me to this day. That's my ride or die. We was like old dog and Kane. You know what I mean? That nigga,
Wow.
Right, yeah, that nigga the old dog and I'm the Kane. Folks is still in 87 and mentally that nigga don't give a fuck. That's my nigga, you know what I mean? And he might, he don't want to be on stage with me right now handling all my shit. But me and Boob, now we grew up in the same house, and it was, like I said, it was just a little misunderstanding. Me and him got on the phone about a couple weeks ago, almost about a month ago. My boy Jay Brick, shout out Jay Brick out there in Seattle. Boob stay out there by him, and he ended up putting us. Me and him was on the phone, and Boob ended up calling him on the other line. He was like, "Blood, this Boob right here on the other line." He's like, "Blood, you mind talking to him?" I'm like, yeah. I said, I ain't got nothing against Boob if you want to talk. And he was like, "Man, let me put him on the phone." And we got on the phone and we chopped it up, and had a few laughs and shit. Sat on the phone for a good 30 minutes to an hour, and just chopped it up.
Felt good, didn't it? Felt good.
Yeah, but I was already past all that shit. It was just motherfuckers like him. And a few niggas had to get that shit out their system. You know what I'm saying? Because, niggas be having still shit built up from, niggas betraying him, telling on him, and he had to go sit down and do 20. So, you know what I mean? He had to, like, and he explained that, like, I got out, I was in my wrong state of mind doing the Vlad shit, and it was like, niggas don't be really meaning what they were saying. He, nigga wish he would have took that opportunity to kind of extend the olive branch when he got on that Vlad TV, and I wish he did too, because I didn't really want to go down there and do my little rebuttal and shit all against him, because I really went down there to slander him and slam him. But when I got there, I said, I'm gonna take the high road on this shit. I don't even want to reignite anything. And nigga doing good, living good, and it's like what facts. You know what I mean? So I took the high road. And just let him know how I really felt about him and shit. Because Boob I was that nigga on the block. It's like, nigga, you can't, I nigga built that shit over there. Like all them niggas over there, all that the respect that block got came through me and D Folks. Like, nigga, we fought tooth and nail, nigga, around that motherfucker, defending that block, defending them niggas when they was able to sell a dope outside without worrying about nothing. Like me and D Folks, my nigga Jay, us three was the main niggas around that motherfucker. You know what I mean? We done lost limbs, been shot and all. Them niggas ain't took no shots, no shells, no nothing. You know what I mean? I'm blind in one eye for life behind that neighborhood. You get what I'm saying?
How old were you when that happened?
I was like 16 when I got shot in the eye. You know what I mean? But it was one of them things where nigga live and he learn. You know what I mean? You're defending a block that you don't own. That's the government shit. Now I know this motherfucker right here that I'm in. This the motherfucker I'm going all out for. That shit.
Yeah, come piss on that grass if you want to, nigga. Huh?
Yeah, that shit is temporary out there though, man. And nigga have to realize that and really, grow, and mature and shit, and realize, man, you got to evolve and realize, man, that shit ain't forever. That block shit is temporary. Even when your mom and them is there, man, all that shit is government assistance. You know what I mean? After you get that assistance, move out the way so the next motherfuckers can move in and use that assistance. You get out the way. You can't stay there forever. You know what I mean?
Hell no, graduate. Facts.
But now me and Boob is good now. You know, the past is the past. I done moved on. And there's no ill will, no ill feelings towards none of them niggas, man. I ain't really got no problems with nobody. Even BA, he was over there part of all that shit. We went had our little disputes. I said
that's what I really was gonna
like,
ask, man, because y'all niggas got a problem with Bart from 3 Times Crazy, man. How's
that?
Yeah,
because he was over there because he got in some Frisco politics when he should have minded his business. I'll never go get my poking my nose in no Oakland shit. You know what I'm saying? Never. I'm right. Nigga, hey, I'm neutral. If y'all funking with BA or 3 times funking with the loan, I'm not going, I'm cool with you. I'm cool with them. I ain't taking no sides. I'm not going to move into your neighborhood and be like, oh, nigga, fuck 3 times because I'm fucking with you. I'm not going to do all that shit on some kiss ass shit when you don't know nothing about how, this is a marriage, nigga. We all grew up together. You's an outsider. We gonna take it out on you. That's like if you and your brother get into it, his friend co-signing, whatever. I'm gonna knock you out, nigga, because me and my brother gonna be cool. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be mad. You laughing at all the jokes my brother capping on me, nigga. I'm gonna knock you out. I ain't gonna knock my brother out. So that's what BA got to realize. Like, nigga, you coming into some shit where we grew up in the same house, we all tight. You come in throwing on big block bandanas and all. You don't know what's behind all that shit. I don't fuck with like that big block shit. I don't represent. I don't fuck with. That's like some, what you could say, like a subsidiary of Harbor Road. Harbor Road is what I represent. I'm a Harbor nigga, HRD. Any nigga that represent that come from that, I fuck with. When you get to talking all that big block going up the muscle, I don't fuck with. That's that new generation shit, and that's the shit that I feel killed Mr. C. Mr. C died behind that shit. So I don't fuck with a lot of that shit. And that's one thing I did kind of like tell Prezi. Me and him had a long, good talk. And, we put our little differences to the side because he came out on some success shit. And then when he started blowing up, he tried to do the big block shit, making his chain, putting out. I had to let him know, like, bro, that you got to realize what he's like, Black, I was young, I didn't know, bro. And I'm just trying to represent Harbor. That's Harbor. I'm like, nah, HRD is Harbor, bro. You know what I mean? And we got to talk about it and all that shit. And that's what it's about, communication. Once niggas talking on, so I was like, it ain't like
communication is everything.
But moving forward, you don't really throw it up no more. I don't really see him doing none of that goofy shit, so it's cool. You know what I mean?
Man,
but
so
BA ain't no hard feelings towards him, bro. Even I felt him when he lost his daughter, the whole shit. I was
what? I didn't even know that. Damn.
He lost his daughter, nigga. Lyric. Rest in peace, Lyric. Nigga, he lost his daughter.
Yeah, rest in peace.
So all that shit. I was just like, I know bro going through his own little demons and going through his shit just by having all that shit on him, being a part of all that shit. So he ain't did shit to me. I was just more worried about him going over there and just little subliminals he was dropping in raps towards us. And it's like, bro, you don't even know us like that. You know what I mean, nigga? You getting in something you know nothing about. And I'm tight as fuck with Keith. Love that nigga to death. Tight as hell with Agent Man. And it's like you, and I liked it the nigga. That's what's so crazy. I liked it the nigga. And it's like, nigga, you heard a nigga feelings. Just where a nigga get to hearing raps. And it's like you over there, album cover, big block bandana, and dropping subliminals and all trying to like high style with them niggas. That shit wasn't cool. But like I said, nigga let bygones be bygones. Right now I see this nigga today, man. I dap him up, and when he, it ain't no thing to me, man. I done got that shit off my chest, man. And,
I worked with him before when me and we did when I ended up owning half of Raw Records with this nigga Al Keys, nigga. We had did the dope game. So we had started the dope game, and that's how I met the nigga. And one day we was at out there at Ambassador's Lounge in San Jose. It was me, Hustler, Jacob, Pretty Black, and we had parked the van at Gary Archer. And that's the first time I knew it was serious. I used to hear about the shit that niggas was on that nigga helmet. We was out there doing shows with the dope gang. Nigga, so I swear to God, nigga, this is a true story. So we go in the club, nigga. We in the club. We on stage performing. I'm out there doing the network. Pretty Black over here. Jack over here, Hustle over here, BA over here. BA, now don't get to the BA tight fuck. That nigga tight. He got a flavor. That nigga bust, right? I didn't know the shit, how serious the shit was, right? Nigga, Pretty Black said, after we got off stage, he said, hey, network, y'all get the van, man. We had the van turned around, nigga. We had it like this. He said, get the van, nigga. We got to go. We got to get the fuck up out of here. Nigga, they on BA head, nigga. My nigga said they gonna pop this nigga as soon as we get outside. I'm like, what? I said, nigga, they ain't got to tell me twice, nigga.
Allegedly.
I said, nigga, hey, let me tell you who in the car though. They about to pop. So nigga, BA and Target. Let me tell you who's in the van, nigga. D-Ray in the back, Gary, me, Hustler, it was hella niggas. Jack, we was in the car, right? Nigga, I told BA, nigga, you better.
This has happened after the big. This is after Big Block, after the allegation.
Yeah, this is after. Yeah, this is after this shit. But they were still on him though.
He had Big.
They were still on him, nigga. They were still on him, nigga. Look, BA was getting ready to get in the car. The van where I said, at the time I was pissed. I was already drunk. I said, nigga, hold on, nigga. You an intruder, nigga. You can't get in this motherfucking van, nigga. Hold on, nigga. We about to leave it. I called. I said, nigga, we about to leave this nigga, man. I know everything.
Hey, what's so crazy?
I told the nigga, he said no work. I said, I was just fucking with him. I said, nigga, we about to leave. Fuck that nigga. Because he out there talking to bitches. I was like, nigga, these niggas about to pop your ass, nigga. Let's go.
Allegedly,
man. Yeah. Allegedly, he
so
about to get the fuck in the van.
To holler at the nigga. I seen the nigga out here, man, and that nigga, he was working at Costco. I said, man, I don't know what this nigga must have think that Antioch was far or something. He was in a witness protection program. This nigga, I walked to me in Costco. I'm walking there. It's me, Prime Minister. Nigga, we about like 6, 7 deep. And we go back to the meat department. We about to barbecue. We go to the meat department. And I see him. I'm like, is that BA right there with the motherfucker?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he in the meat department.
He didn't have a big block going on though.
He walked and I said, what's up, nigga? And he just like kind of looking, held his head down. And I said, "Blood, that's BA, huh?" And them niggas said, "Blood, that is BA." As soon as we turned around,
shit,
to the back, we went into the back, opened up the little meat department doors. And what to do that with the net? He said, "Man, he just ran out the back door." Get
the fuck out of here!
He admit that he seen us and he dipped the fuck up out of there. That was that nigga. He was out there working in the meat department out here in Costco. You know what I mean? I mean, not Costco, Winco. Out here on Lone Tree. You know what I mean?
Nigga went for steaks and fair pork.
I just wanted to ask him about all that shit. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to have was just like, open dialogue with the nigga. I never, even like I told Rab and all them, I was like, bro, I ain't really got nothing against that nigga, man. He ain't really did nothing to me. He told on, or supposedly told on Booby and them. He ain't did shit to us.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
That nigga on paperwork with that shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's their business. That's their problem. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, nigga, I just want to holler at you about all that shit and just like, bro, let's move past that, nigga. We good. I ain't got no problem.
That's all I want to hear, that y'all good, my nigga.
No problem with nobody, bro. Everybody clean slate with me, bro. I ain't got no problem with nobody. If a nigga come tripping, then I'm tripping back. But besides that, nigga, it's all love. Peace.
Oh, so can I ask you a question?
Peace. Bro. That's it, man. I'm trying to live my next 50 in peace, man. You know what I mean?
Well, so is he gonna be on your album?
Nah, we ain't doing no music together,
okay,
like that.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm
definitely gonna do some shit with Keith and Asia, though. Shit.
Okay,
that's where you a piece of shit, man. This nigga is a piece of shit, man.
Trying to throw gasoline on the fire and shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, this nigga instigator and a hater. This nigga is crazy, man.
You gotta catch that nigga. That nigga definitely instigator.
This nigga on the nose. It always knows. That nigga nose get to going crazy. He got 2 brains. That nose got a brain. That's all the nose. That nose is talking. And then his brain said, you know what I mean? Hey.